Welcome back, you guys. I don't think I've actually cleaned the main part of my house really since I was pretty sick. I don't remember. I was trying to think like when's the last time I actually had a clean house, and it's been a bit. I know that I was able to get my laundry room, my bedroom, and my bathroom, the BBL, if you will. I got that done, but I've been neglecting this part of the house. But we're going to tackle it today. I started off the day I woke up and I had a very early telehealth appointment. Thank God it was over the phone because yuck. But I talked to my therapist and I was talking about my anxiety levels being kind of high, but also my, I don't want to call it my procrastination level. It's not my procrastination because I'm not intentionally putting it off. I am not able to get up and do something. I I don't know if I can explain that any better. I am frozen. I have like decision paralysis, if you will, but I've already decided on what needs to be done, which would be clean your effing kitchen, Elizabeth. But yeah, I can't get up and do it. And it's causing a lot of consternation. I love the word consternation. Why aren't we saying it often enough? Maybe you do. I don't know how often you say it. How often are you just consternating out here? I constern a lot. Okay. So she's like, just make a list. And I was like, yeah, no kidding. Make a list. Yes. Obviously, I made a list in my head 40,000 times of what actually needs to be done. And what I think it is that so much needs to be done. And it's so kind of overwhelming and convoluted that I'm stuck. Finding a spot to start is really difficult. So I wrote a list and one of them was clean my effing house. And then I had to prioritize the list and put stars next to what needs to be done by Thanksgiving and what can go by the wayside. And I was like, all of this is useless and I'm mad and you're dumb. And it absolutely works. Like after we talked, I was like, she's so dumb. I'm never going to be able to get stuff done. And then I just started doing the stuff on the list. My deepest apologies, therapist. You are, in fact, a wizard. So, still, I'm feeling a lot better. Okay, besides that cough fit, I'm feeling a lot better. I just have a lingering cough that really ramps its ugly little head up the more I talk, which makes doing voiceovers incredibly challenging. But I shall do my best, as I always do. I shall do my middest, as I always do. If you don't deserve me at my middest, you don't deserve me at all. I'm pretty sure Marilyn Monroe said that whilst singing Happy Birthday. It was in the middle of it. That's a fact. You should not Google that at all. All right, let's address not the elephant in the room because I'm not going to call myself an elephant. I'm hand washing my dishes. You guys, it's a mix. It's a mix between I don't feel well, so it's harder to win the anxiety battle because I'm already not feeling well, and it takes a lot of energy to fight the inner demon in my head that is, your dishes aren't actually clean, you're going to get worse. And the fact that sometimes my dishes aren't coming out clean. I don't know what to say about that. So I found, looking for something completely different, I found my dishwasher tablets. I think maybe those are my garbage disposal tablets. I'll read the package again. But I do think we're going to have to do a deep clean situation see there? Hold on. Did you see me jittering? We'll talk about that in a second. I do have to deep clean my dishwasher, I think. But here, doing my dishes, I am fighting back like a full anxiety attack thing. Like my anxiety is very, very, very high, and it's getting harder for me to manage. And I can't decide if my anxiety is making me hand wash my dishes or if my hand washing of the dishes is making my anxiety worse. I don't know, chicken egg situation, not sure what it is. I just know what's happening. So we are hand washing our dishes now, and that's okay. It's fine. Sometimes we don't always win the battle against our little brain demons, but they aren't winning as consistently as they were. So I love that for me. But I hand washed them all and then I put them on the 1 hour cycle. So I'm able to get through more dishes during this whole house clean. And I love that for me. So it it was hard to get started on this. It really was. There was something very overwhelming about the starting of the task. And I know I'm really harping on that fact, but it was really hard for me to get started on the task. And my therapist was right. Once I had momentum going, it was easier to follow through. I do have some negotiations in here with myself. I do take things off of the plate. Am I mixing too many metaphors? I don't know. But I do edit some of the things I need to do internally just to make myself feel better about getting this done. Does that make sense? I don't know. We'll talk about it as it goes through to see if it makes more sense for you guys. But my kitchen was mostly non-functional and I knew I wanted to cook dinner that night. So because I wanted to do that, I had to do this. And I love that for me. The next thing I'm going to do after I do this here, okay, yeah, let's talk about my list of things, right? And hopefully not cough the entire time through. All right, we did Calvin's room and he's doing a great job keeping that tidy. We did my room. My bedroom is the same thing as my room, and my bathroom. Those are pretty good. I do need to make my bed still today and then catch myself on the laundry clutter. So I can see, I'm looking, I have a couple pairs of pants that I wore, jeans, by the way, that I wore one time. And now I'm playing the game of fold and put away, right? Yeah, I can wear jeans more than once. That's one of the rules. And I think everything else I'll just throw in the laundry. The laundry, you'll see, there is Mount Washington, and it's a lot. I did, I think, 3 loads of laundry yesterday. I'll be able to do some laundry today, and that'll be really good for me. But there's an excessive amount of laundry happening. Now, also, upstairs is really messy. And remember when I did the catastrophic choice of moving that one desk upstairs with my kids, and I almost killed all of my kids, but I definitely left a hole in the wall and some gouges in the floor because I couldn't manage it? That desk needs to come back downstairs from upstairs. I'm just going to disassemble it. We learned our lesson. The only reason I didn't stop and disassemble it last time is because I was the only thing between it and crushing my kids to death. So not to brag, but I did save my kids. I'm a hero. I am a hero. Yes, I caused the situation which put them in danger, but I also saved their lives. So I'm pretty amazing. I have a lot of recycling up here because our recycling was incredibly full and it just got dumped. And so now we have space in our recycling bin again. However, Cardboard Mountain is not enormous. It's growing. There's a little bit there, but it's not enormous. So I can't decide if that's a win or not. Well, look, is it a win? Should I have left more cardboard boxes in the garage to leave space for our milk containers? So those milk containers, that was 3 days worth maybe of how much milk we went through. 3 to 4 days, which is excessive. We go through so much milk. I am unprepared for how much milk is getting consumed by my children. They don't tell you that when you're getting ready to be parents. They're not also, by the way, your kids will hit a stride where they drink a gallon of milk every half hour. And you're oh, okay. They didn't tell me that. Also, paper. We go through so much paper and milk, vastly unprepared. Also, my son's going through a growth spurt. So his snack before dinner, then dinner, and then after dinner snack, and then second dinner happens. And you're just you're eating so much. It's crazy. And I measured him. I can't remember the last time I measured him, but I think he grew 1 inch in a month. And no wonder he's eating so much, sleeping so much. And he's Mom, my bones hurt a little bit. And I'm I bet, dude. Jeez, that's crazy. So he's really going through it. We have to keep copious amounts of food all of the time because man, is he eating so much. And that's made me forget what I was talking about. Oh, upstairs, the desk has to come down because I got the twins to agree to move from their room upstairs. Now, their room is really, really, really messy and terrible. And I need to go in there and clean it. But I also need to clean upstairs. And I also need to figure out how to set up the upstairs for their room. I think that's going to be a really in-depth project. So I will clean their room first and then figure out the upstairs. Tomorrow is reupholster my stuff day and stuff that couch and assemble Calvin's chair. It's my do the things that you don't want to do day is tomorrow. Really excited / terrified for it. I'm really concerned that I'm going to take off the bench chair thing, the bench pad seat, and then not be able to get it back on. How do we get it back on? Is it nailed on? Is it screwed on? How does it go on? I'm very concerned about that part. It's not so much the putting the fabric on and stapling the fabric. It's the reattaching that I'm very concerned on. So I think after this, probably what we should do is watch videos on YouTube on how to reupholster chairs, right? You can figure out how to do anything on YouTube. Maybe? Yes, that's what we'll do. I'm very concerned about that. I'm sure it's easy, but I am also sure that I could ruin it the week of Thanksgiving, and then nobody gets to sit anywhere, and I'll be like, just stand and eat your turkey. It's fine. When people come over anyways, I feel like this is a universal truth. Everyone stands in the kitchen anyways. Last Thanksgiving, I genuinely think we stood in the kitchen. Our guests were on the opposite side, like where the couch is, and then Mark and I were on this side of the kitchen. And we kind of just like stood there and ate anyways, even though we had a table to sit at. So that's always an option. So I guess chair's optional for hosting Thanksgiving. And I love that for me. Also tomorrow, I do need to go back through and check all of my Harry Potter candles and replace some of the batteries because I think I'm going to light my candles, even though they look very silly right now. I'm going to light them for Thanksgiving. I left them up after Halloween because they're perfect for Halloween and I love them so much. And I knew I wanted them up for Christmas because I have another vision for Christmas that I'm super excited about. But the time in between, the candles just feel really silly and a little bit tacky and kind of a bummer. So maybe next year I will actually, they're such a pain to put up though. They're so exhausting to put up. It's because, so here's what it is when you put them up and store them, the fishing line, I almost forgot the word fishing line, the fishing line tangles. So you have to basically throw away all of the fishing line. And then in each wick of the candle, the flame of the candle, there's a very tiny hole at the tip and you thread the fishing line through the tip and pull it a tiny bit out of the flame and then shove the flame back in the candle. And that's what actually holds it there and holds it up. And that is a huge pain in the ass. Oh, and to take them down, I have to get my hairdryer out and heat up the adhesive. And it's just a whole event. So that's why I was like, no, just leave them up, just leave them up. But now I have to go back to all of them to like fix the battery. I don't know. Probably not worth my time, but I'm really excited for my Christmas decor. It's going to look fantastic. I cannot believe I will be doing my Christmas decorating next-ish this week. That's insane to me. Where did November go? Why was I sick all of November, by the way, so far? That's complete crap. I was talking to a friend yesterday and they were like, you've been sick for a while. I was like, not really, I remember I was there in Halloween and it is. And then I was like, oh my God, it's November 20th. And they're like, no, it's November 21st. I was like, damn it. I've been sick the entire month of November and I'm so sad because I love November. I love, unlike every other girl out there, I love fall. I love the holiday season. I'm very unique. Hashtag not like other girls. So as I'm out here being the most unique, not basic at all, woman, I spent most of it miserable. That's okay. It's fine. There's always another holiday season right around the corner. Before we know it, I'll be decorating for Halloween going, oh my God, you guys, I can't believe we're decorating for Halloween already. And it's fine. So ideally, I would have my kids' rooms all cleaned, my room clean, like all of downstairs really nice and clean by Thanksgiving. I think I can do that because all I have to do is tomorrow do my forgotten tasks. Then I think that leaves Monday, Tuesday-ish for me to get the girls' rooms done. And Wednesday, I can do a massive deep clean for Thursday, right? Okay, so that works. I have time. It's fine. And then push comes to shove, I can just close the girls' bedroom door if necessary. But that's another reason why I'm so glad I got up and did things. Okay, here, Calvin comes up to me and goes, Mom, do you know you're not recording? And I did not know, and that was really sad. But I did like unbox 2 Amazon boxes, I think. And I started folding clothes. And so that's why I'm already just sitting on the couch looking sad. I forgot what I was saying. This is fine. Sorry I sang. I wish I was a good singer. I think about it often. And I know you can learn how to be a better singer, but it's also kind of a natural talent that I absolutely lack. But deep down, I wish I was a really good singer. I wish I was a really good singer. But I'm not, so that's okay. So, what was I saying? I said that I could close the girls' room. We're getting closer. F if I know. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't know. Right there, there's the bin of donate things for that I picked for Calvin's room, or he picked. And then we can go through the girls' room. I think I have a donate pile in their room already. I have some footage done for that. But yeah, I want everything to be reset. It just feels very yucky in my house. Oh, that's what I was saying. And I am so glad that I did this part on this day, even though I didn't have a lot in me, because now my deep panic clean for Thanksgiving isn't also going to be putting all of this laundry away. This freaking weighted blanket, I timed it, even sped up 20 minutes. So I cut out almost all of it. I tied it in incorrectly the first time, had to untie everything and retie it in because it is a rectangle, not a square. And it does matter what side you tie where. And it really annoyed the crap out of me. But I finally got the thing back on. It had been sitting in there for a while and bothering me. So I'm glad that I got that done. But now, since Thanksgiving is so close, I really just have to kind of like more deep clean. I will wipe down probably baseboards, gross, and wipe off all of my my cabinets, my facing cabinets, get those things done, spot clean some of the wall where my kids put, I don't know, peanut butter or jelly or random crap like that. Get all of that, the deep clean done. I also need to run to a store. I want to get actual usable table coverings. What are tablecloths, but like plasticky tablecloths, but not cheapy plasticky. Like, the kind that you can hand down, the kind that I could use for 15 years. And then my kids will be like, oh yes, I remember this tablecloth kind of thing, that level. I want to get that to cover my table. And then the plastic table, the collapsible plastical portable table. So I want 2 of those just to make things a little bit better. So yes, that's what I need to do this week. I don't know. I'm excited though. I can't believe it's coming so closely. Also, look, I put this gate up. So with the cat feeding dishes, I decided I hate them, but they're expensive, so we have to use them. But Leroy discovered if you push on the cover for their cat food, if he snorts it enough, like and hits it with his nose enough, it will automatically open. And so we have been just plowing through the cat food because every time I walk over there, he has emptied out everything. He has just cleared it out. And so we put the gate there because the cats can jump over it, but he can't. I bet you he could. He just doesn't know he could. And now Sweet Potato is being such a freaking princess about it that she requires that I pick her up and put her over. She jumps back out just fine. She can get in and out, but she wants me to pick her up, put her over, and then I stand inside the gated area with her to make sure that she has a friend when she eats. I did discover if I put Blackberry in there with her, they'll both eat together, but she needs me to be a part of it 100%. Look at how cute she's being. Everybody shush, shh. She was being so cute. And yes, I pay so much attention to Leroy. He could stand the 10 seconds where I pay attention to somebody that isn't Leroy. And she was just being adorable and she really wanted me to love on her. So we have to put that gate up to prevent Leroy from eating, which I love. I purchased that gate actually to put around Kesha so Leroy wouldn't bully Kesha off of her food, but also so that Kesha wouldn't go bully Leroy off of his food. I don't know what it is, but the fact that the food is in the other's dish makes it the most delicious, greatest opportunity for food ever. And I'm like, stop. You guys, I get Kesha doing it because his food is more high calorie. And so she's probably like, it tastes better. It's more high calorie, just like, regular food. Why is Leroy trying to go for diet food? There's no way that's delicious. What a silly Billy. Okay, here is part of Mount Washington. And I was like, okay, I'm going to fully get through these clothes and then I'm going to address the entryway. And so I am cycling through different loads of laundry, but this is just, mentally too much for me right now. And so I don't go through all this laundry. I don't make it better. It's still there because I'm still cycling through. And then I'm like, okay, let's break down these boxes. They've been there for a while. And I write off the entryway and that laundry. I'm like, this part doesn't exist. Let's just get the rest of the house done because I feel myself losing energy and losing motivation entirely. And I just feel like if I was like, okay, no, you're not done until all of this laundry is finished, then the finish line would be so far away that I would just give up. Does that make sense? Another thing I was talking to my therapist about, what I think part of the mental hurdle for me to do this is that it's not me cleaning my house for a few hours. It is me cleaning my house for a few hours and then the edit, then the voiceover, then the upload. Like those things are so intricately combined. Nope. Intertwined. Intricately intertwined. I said that flawlessly. You're welcome. That it's hard to look at as I'll just do this. It's a massive project to make a video. And I love it. I love it. I do love that my content is me just struggle busting through life. I think that's so much fun. It is exactly what I would want to do. I want to live my life and hang out with you guys and that be my YouTube content. I really do enjoy that. But what I didn't foresee is that it stalls me from choosing to clean sometimes because it's a lot more of a time investment because it's not just cleaning, it's doing everything. Because also, if I didn't do it as a video, like, sure, I could clean my house and not put it out as content, but that costs me money. It just feels so wasteful. That's what it is. It feels incredibly wasteful where I'm like, but no, this is content. And I think I remember listening to another YouTuber. She is not a my style YouTuber. She's actually like glamorous New York life, like young 20s with her friends, glamorous New York YouTuber. And she was talking about the struggle of this could be content kind of thing because it is her everyday life where she's hanging out with friends. And one specific thing she was talking about is that she has to like really remind herself that like if something funny and amazing is happening and she didn't have her camera out, she had to be like, it's okay. there will be time down the road where I'll have my camera out and something good will also happen. Like the content will happen, but your life is your content is so weird sometimes because you're like, okay, I could just live my life, but also, it's a weird balance that I did not expect. And I find that very interesting. I don't know. I talked to Millennial Meg earlier today quite a bit about quite a few things. It was wild what we talked about. We were on the phone for like almost 2 hours, and the span of subjects was absolutely hilarious. But there was a really good chunk where we were just talking YouTube together. And I love that. I love having somebody in my life that I'm just like, YouTube, And she and I don't know, we were just talking about like the fact that we're just like, okay, yeah, I could clean my house privately, but why? Why not use it as an opportunity to do YouTube and practice and get better and stuff like that? Why did I bring up Millennial Meg? She also told me to be nicer to my therapist, which I thought was rude, and she should shut up. She was like, oh, you are the worst kind of clients because Millennial Meg's a therapist. If you guys don't know, Millennial Meg is one of my best friends. I love her so much. She is also a YouTuber. We met because of YouTube. And then I forced her to be my friend. I was like, no, we're friends now. We're best friends. Be best friends with me. And she is a therapist. And so I told her, I was like, I hate it because when I talk to my therapist, I feel like I'm supposed to lead the conversation. And I want her to talk about what we're supposed to talk about. She goes, oh my God, you're the worst. You're the worst. I hate people like you. And I was like, what? And she's like, no, you're here for you, not for me. I don't care what you want to work on, but you have to bring it up. And I was like, that is stupid and I don't want to do it. And that's why I didn't pay her a copay today because I didn't like Millennial Meg's advice. I'm not paying her a copay. She can, you know what? See you in court, idiot. She also, by the way, is she's plagiarizing my trademark. Wait, is it a plagiarize if they do? She's stealing my trademark. I know she's stealing my trademark. And I'm going to sue her I'm going to sue her teeth out of her head. What a weird phrase. But I trademarked Tidy As You Go, and I know that absolute crab apple of a human is stealing it. I know she is. So, my rage for her made me cough. Okay, maybe I'll be nicer. I don't know. Anyways, I will put her channel in my description box, and you guys can go thumbs down her stuff. You subscribe, but thumbs down everything. All right? We're not supportive. We're mad. All right, second round of dishes. I've probably been doing it for a while, but since I was talking, I wasn't paying attention to myself. You're welcome. But I hand washed these two. We'll see what happens moving forward. I just have to deep clean that dishwasher. I think that's the only solution to this problem. And then if they still come out with stuff on them, I'll have to get a new dishwasher. This one's probably like 7 years old. Okay, wait, when was 2017? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Why did I think it was 2022? I was like, that's as far as I need to count. It's only 2022. Time is really flying. Can you guys believe that the pandemic was 5 years ago? I don't know if YouTube's still restricting they're restricting the C word, but like the secondary C word, lowercase c. I wonder if they're still restricting that. Like, are we still saying workaround words for that? Am I even allowed to say pandemic? Oh no. 2020 was 5 years ago, you guys. That was crazy, right? How is it so far away from us? It happened yesterday. I don't know. It's crazy. Also, I was talking to my high school best friend. Her sister did pass away, but we're not sure when the services are. It might be spring. So that's interesting to me. She and I were talking, and her sister was a few years older than us, but I couldn't remember by how many years. And so I was like, wait, remind me, how old is she? Was she? And she said 45. And I was like, that's insane. Also, because we're 43, but you and I are 17. Like she and I are 17. And that's weird. It's weird that it's been 25 years since we were in high school together, just thinking about what our lives were going to be. And like we had first really got access to email. That, oh my God. Okay. Kids, so back in my day, we didn't have the internet. Okay. The internet came when I was a youth. And after walking uphill both ways in the snow to school, we would dial up. Okay, that part was true. We did dial up. Remember dialing in and then nobody could use the phone in the house? But after dialing into AOL and we got online, we would email each other. And our subject lines, this actually lasted for a very long time. I remember being deployed and we were doing this back and forth. Our subject lines of all of our emails were lines of songs, but we would be singing the same song. So we would just continue the lines of the songs in the subjects until we finished the song, and then we would start the next one. Or if we didn't actually know the next line, we had to start a new song. And that's how we would email each other because email was new and fancy and incredible. This predates MySpace, which predates Facebook, which predates Meta. And YouTube wasn't a thing because the internet didn't work. Oh my God, I'm old. I've got the olds, but I really like it because the opposite of getting the olds is getting the deads. So I'm pretty grateful for what I've got going on right now. It's weird. I'm 17 with her. I guess I'm currently living in the year 2022, and I genuinely think I'm maybe 36 years old. Maybe, I don't know. I think I'm in my 30s for sure because I know I'm not in my 20s. With Mark, maybe I am in my 20s. I don't know. I would say I'm a solid 30-year-old. I'm a 30-year-old, 43-year-old who's in perimenopause. Oh, it's so weird. I wonder when you're much older, like not in an offensive way, you guys. So when I start calling out my 70-year-olds, I'm not saying in a mean way. I just mean older than I. Do you feel 40? Like, where are you? Where do you feel? What's your body at? Because I always thought about this, even when I was a very little girl. Also, don't know what's on my stove. It's disgusting, but I scrape it off with my handy dandy scraper. Okay, I used to wonder when I was a teen what it would feel like to be 20, right? Like I felt like there would be a significant feeling shift. And there was, don't get me wrong, like 12 is completely different than 20. Hold on, it's going to be hard for me to thread this together because there's another element in this. So pause that thought. We have to go to this. You know how there's a universal you inside of you, right? Maybe not if you don't have a brain that talks to you, because some people don't have like running narratives. So I don't know how your life goes. I feel like I'm very much the same inner me. And that person has no age, but also feels like different ages. Like when I was 12, I used to always think about what it was going to feel like to be 20, what it would feel like to get married, what it would be like to be a mother, and what it would be like to be old, like have my old age. I would look at my grandmother, and she passed actually quite young, but she was old to me because I was a kid. And what did that feel like? And now that I'm actually crossing those lines and hitting milestones, I was really sad when I was pregnant for the first time because I was like, this feels like my last big life milestone because I was like graduating high school. College wasn't a thing for me. It was military. So that kind of got fuzzy, but it was like meeting my husband. That happened early. Then it was getting married. I had done that. And then it was getting pregnant for the first time. And then I was like, what other major milestone is out there? I guess retirement, but that doesn't apply to me because I have been trophy wifing this whole time. So I guess retiring from trophy wife. I don't think Mark's retirement's going to count for me, but maybe, oh, also, the age 42 was huge for me, but that was for other reasons. But now, 43-year-old Beth feels maybe 30s. Obviously, it shifts down to where I know I'm 17 when I'm with my high school best friends. When you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, let's say 70s, maybe I'll be a grandma in my 70s. Do you feel like early motherhood still? Because I kind of, okay, so my kids are almost all teenagers. I still feel very young mother where I felt when my kids were really young, like 4, but I know I'm not there. And so I wonder what it feels like and what age, like my mind still seems to think I am. And that's really interesting to me. It really is. I think now, as my dad gets older, he's in his 70s, he reflects so much more on his 20s than he used to. Like, he tells me a lot of when he was really, really young stories. I don't know. What do you guys, I don't know. That's really interesting to me. But I also feel like I've been this age forever. I've always like that third person, that inner person inside me is always this age. Um, and I know I said I was going to loop back to something, but I don't remember it. So that's fun too. Oh, that's what it was. It was turning 42. Okay. So another thing I used to do, I had a few boyfriends. I had 2 serious boyfriends before I met Mark. And it would be when I met them, I'd be like, okay, also with my friends too. I would think, okay, I have to be this amount of years old to have known them more of my life than not. I remember doing it for a friend in the 3rd grade when we met. I was like, okay, I'm 10 now. I'll have to be 20 and one day to have known her longer than not. I don't know why I always think things like that. But when I met Mark, it was right before my 21st birthday. And I remember thinking, one, we were not going to last that long. Well, I don't know. He kind of did feel like my forever, not to be crazy or anything like that. But also I was like, I'm 20. There's no way I met my soulmate, my forever person at 20. That sounds crazy, but I did. And I remember going into my 21st birthday thinking, I will have to be 42 years old to have been with Mark longer in my life than not. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to cry. Shut up. That's stupid. That's what stupid people do, and I'm not going to do it. So shut up. On my 42nd birthday, shut up. I remember standing in my kitchen while my kids were singing happy birthday to me. And I was going to eat my store tiramisu because that's my favorite. And I couldn't have imagined being as lucky as I was hitting my 42nd birthday, but I have been looking forward to that birthday since the moment I started dating Mark. I had been looking forward to it for so long. And when I crossed it, I couldn't believe how happy I was and how lucky I was. And I was so supremely grateful. And it was just something I had been looking forward to for 21 years. And that's so weird. So that was a milestone. The other milestone is being my current name longer than being my maiden name. So I do get to cross that milestone eventually. Wait, what's double 29, 18, 58? So when I'm 58, I will also cry, just so you guys know. But I don't know. I'm just such a sentimental person. Those things I think about all the time and they're important to me. Is that the same for you guys? I don't know. I feel like Millennial Meg will say no because she is very non-sentimental. I bet you she could downsize, not her family. She likes her family quite a bit. She's the kind of person who could have one of everything and just be super happy. She's like, no, this is my pants. These are my, This is my shirt. This is my one fork. I have, well, everybody has one. Well, almost everybody has one phone. Some people have two. Yeah, she throw everything away. I know she could. I'm just deflecting because I feel very emotional. So I want to bully someone. And that is who I'm choosing to bully. I could get my kids in here and bully them a little bit. That would be fun. I did have a dream last night that I was slapping Sonia. And even in my dream, I was like, why are you doing this? Don't do this. And she was being so well behaved in my dream. Now we're at the part of the video where I describe my dreams to you guys. Good for you. That's fun. Anyway, nobody wants that. So anyways, I was slapping her a ton. And when she woke up this morning, I was like, I'm so sorry for my dream. Also, I'm not describing dreams to you guys. This is real life. This totally, really, really, really happens. In my basement, which we all know I have. Look at this house. We have a basement. My husband hired 2 people to break in and scare me. And they were in my basement. I went downstairs in my basement. And I was screaming for him to come help because there were 2 men in the house. And he was like, ha, prank. The amount of not punishing him when I woke up was so hard. It was like, honestly, I can't tell the church because it is miracle level. And I'm afraid they'll saint me for the restraint I had. But that man woke up, kissed me goodbye for work, didn't apologize for all of that bullshit he put me through in my dream. It was so much trauma. And he just went to work as happy as can be. And I didn't punish him for it. I'm very worried about my sainthood. I do not want my relics, meaning my bones, don't call them relics, they're bones, being sent to various churches. But I would, okay, so fine. Pretend that my sainthood already happened because we all know it's coming. I'm the best Catholic that ever did Catholic. I Catholic too hard to the sun, and now I have to divvy up my bones. So here's where I want some bones to go. Also sometimes they'd send my organs, but yuck. Okay, I guess, okay, fine. They can send my heart and my left ulna. Okay, the whole forearm set, the radii and the ulna, they can have both. And my heart gets sent to the church that Mark and I got married in. Even though it burnt down, they had to rebuild it. So I feel less attached to that church. They can have those parts. Okay. I'm not sending anything to the church that we went to when the twins were baptized. I didn't baptize Calvin because I'm a terrible human. I'm not sending anything to that church because that church was kind of annoying. But I did kind of like them. Okay, fine. You know what? They can have both of my feet. That's fine. And that's it. Like, okay, I'm sorry. How many churches do I have to be special to? Like, how much are we dividing up here? That seems like too many. Especially because, okay, fine. I think it was easier when you were in Europe to divvy up the saints' relics, if you will, because there were a lot more churches and everything's really close. You guys think 45 minutes is far away, and it's not. That's just a quick trip to the store. So, okay, I will send some of my pelvic girdle, my pelvis. I feel like that should be sent somewhere really special. I like maybe what's the church in Windsor Castle? St. George's Chapel? Yeah, just tuck it in next to Henry VIII. He likes pelvises. Oh my God, here I left the vacuum on and then upside downed it, and it sprayed all of its disgusting dirt and fuzz all over me. And I was very sad. And as I did it, I was like, cut this out of the footage because I don't want everybody to know that I'm that dumb. But also, hashtag relatable. Have you guys done that? No, probably not. But yeah, I have to shower after this because I'm absolutely disgusting. And I was very sad about that. So yeah, I guess that covers me crying about being married to my husband. I trashed Millennial Meg a little bit. We talked about our future plans. We talked about the Harry Potter candles, divvying up my body as sainted relics because we all know that's coming. I don't know. Maybe I should just like bad Catholic a little bit more to try to keep myself intact. I think that would be good. Yes. Love this for me. Although, I don't know why this is relevant. Pretend that there is a relevant transition to this story. It is. It's about saints. But I've been joking around with Millennial Meg, who seems to be quite the theme in this story. I'm sorry, I talked to her for 2 hours earlier today. That's all I can focus on. And I've been joking around about how Catholics outsource their prayers because we have all the saints. And she's like, no, like I wouldn't even know. So I Googled, I was like, this is what my friend is like. What saint should she pray to? And they're like Mother Teresa. And Meg was so offended. She's like, absolutely not. I was like, why? She's perfect for you. She lost her faith and then kept up the charade so that everybody was comfortable. Like, she is absolutely who you should be. And she's like, oh, wait, hold on. So all I'm saying is that I converted her to Catholicism. You're welcome. I only mopped inside my kitchen because that's all I felt like doing. And that's as good as that gets. But I bought these rugs and then was too sick/lazy to open them and clean my kitchen enough to swap out the rugs that they're only going to be here for about a week. Okay, shut up. Everybody, this rug right here, I put it, you'll see it in the walkthrough. Does it fit? Should it go there? Watch, hold on. Final result, I pretended like the entryway didn't exist, and you should too. But my living room, way better. Okay, look. I think it might be a little too long. Is it in a weird spot? It's not terribly too long, but does it go there? Should I have a rug there? It feels reasonable, but also uncomfortable. I don't know. Does it go there? But I like these. They're okay. Dishes in the sink do not count. Everyone knows that. But this is as clean as I felt like getting my house today. And I think that's fine. Not everything can be flawless at the end, except for me as a human, because that's just who I am. And I just wanted to show that my nest is clean. It is. Okay. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.